Welcome to Second Take Sports Talk with Ronnie Roberts. I'm your co-host Rashaki Maskani, and then we have Brother Rick here, and we have the main host, Ronnie Roberts. I'm just going to turn it directly over to him because he knows the deal, and I'm one of the listeners. So, Ronnie, thanks again for giving us your expertise in the sports world, and you can go for it, brother.
Well, let me start that off by saying, as always, expertise is in the eye of the beholder. I'm one of the many voices in America in sports who is highly opinionated, who bases what I say, what I speak on, what I say on extensive research, seeing all of the greats play in football, baseball, and basketball. Um, and trying to be as objective and subjective as I can be in my analysis of current events. Um, One of my teams is playing tonight, my football team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So show my Steelers some love if you can. If you can't, don't. But we need all the help in the world we can get because we're a very flawed squad, who I know doesn't have a chance to win the Super Bowl, but just to be competitive. You can get on a run, win a couple of games, but we don't have what it takes to take it all the way. I'm just being honest about that. Um, One of the big things going on this past couple of weeks since we met and talked is, of course, we spent a lot of time talking about the NBA, which we're going to talk about, but I wanted to start this off tonight with football's at the forefront right now because we're in the playoffs. National championship game is a week from today. Um, we're down to two teams now, Miami and Indiana, who, in my memory, has never competed at this level for a national championship. And I've been an avid football fan for 60 plus years. So this is something new. Miami has won before, and Miami is one of the teams that I used to really root for back in the day, simply because of the coach. Jimmy Johnson was one of them, who coached at Oklahoma State. And just like the players, like the program, and kind of like the fact that they would beat the crap out of OU every time they got over to a team that I particularly don't care for. That's 30 miles down the highway. Um, Getting through the playoffs, there were five SEC teams. This is the college football playoff has been pretty much dominated by SEC teams, and of course, Big Ten or Big 12. Big 12 is no Big Ten. What used to be the Big Ten, which is now 16, 18 schools maybe. Um, Southeast Conference is dominated mostly because of geographics. They have some of the best, particularly black athletes in the country, are in the South. Florida's a hotbed, big state. Um, lots of black players in the whole southeastern part of the country. The other hotspots, of course, would be California and Texas. But now the Big Ten, where our population centers are, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana has been dominating here lately. Ohio State won the national championship last year and spent just an ungodly amount of Neil money. Neil has Indiana's not here. Don't be for Neil. Let's get that out in the open. Indiana's not even competitive without Neil. And what really strikes me about Indiana is not only have they
Excuse
benefited.
me, Ronnie.
Yes,
How many is that pronounced Neil on a consistent basis?
yes, name, image, and likeness.
So they do call it Neil.
Everybody calls it Neil, and it
Okay.
means
All right.
name,
I just want to
image,
make
and likeness.
sure we clarify that for the audience that may listen to this,
Yeah.
so they know
Well,
what you're talking about.
was I guess 4 or 5 years ago now, it was declared that athletes should be able to benefit from their name, image, and likeness. That's what they use to essentially make it legal to pay players. Don't think that this players have been getting paid since we were back in school, really, Rodrigo, Maskani. Players have been getting paid forever, but now it's legal, and now the amount that they're getting paid is astronomical in relation to what guys are getting under the table. You know, and they're just talking about this one quarterback who has gotten a $5 million offer, and it may go up to $6.5 million. And that's more than you can make as an NFL rookie. We spoke earlier about Shedeur Sanders, who made $5 million in his senior year at Colorado, and junior year made $5 million both years. He took a pay cut to go to the NFL because he's making less than $1 million a year being a fifth-round draft choice. But he walked into the league a millionaire. His dad's a millionaire. His brother's a millionaire. So money is not an issue for Shedeur, even though, you know, the richer people are, the more money they want. Well, I don't know if you guys are aware of a sports figure and commentator named Paul Finebaum, Finebaum. He mostly covers the Southeastern Conference. He even talked about running for office, but he's on again and off again analyst on ESPN. Sometimes he comes on the Stephen A. Smith show and various sports talk shows, but he is considered to be an absolute college football expert. I'm going to read to you his take on what's the national championship game between Indiana and Miami that's coming up. And it says, after Indiana's 56-22 demolition of Oregon, the biggest hit of the night didn't come from the field, it was from Paul Finebaum. He opened his tirade with a cold shot. Let's get something straight. That win wasn't earned. And he's talking about when they beat down Oregon 56-22, which was a complete shock to me. I thought they would beat Oregon, but like that, no way. Then he doubled down, voice rising on live TV. You don't beat a program like Oregon with development or toughness anymore. You beat them with nil money. Indiana bought that win, bought the roster, bought the depth, and frankly, they got the benefit of a system that's completely broken. That not only speaks for college football, college basketball is broken as well. Finebaum pushed even harder, taking direct aim at the integrity of the sport. Tell me how Oregon, a team that's built its identity on speed, culture, and execution, gets run off the field like that. They tried to play football. Indiana played with a checkbook. And then came the line that blew up social media. The nil imbalance is embarrassing, and the entire country saw it tonight. He's dead spot on with that. Minutes later, Indiana head coach Curt Cignetti stepped to the podium and ended the entire debate with one icy, lethal sentence. Exactly 11 words. And these are his 11 words. He listened, he paused, and then he delivered a response to cut through the argument with surgical calm. We recruit, develop, compete by the rules. Excuses won't change tonight's scoreboard. And he walked away. We recruit, develop, compete by the rules. Excuses won't change tonight's scoreboard. So what he's saying, we're playing by the same rules as everybody else. We just played a little bit better this year. The key fact about Indiana, they don't have any five-star players. You guys know what five-star players are. Those are players rated the highest coming out of high school or even a junior college, for that matter. Well, five-star is a high school designation, not junior college. A five-star player coming out of high school has a 25% chance of making it to the next level or to play professional football or basketball or baseball, whatever. So five stars are really rare. For years, I live in Oklahoma. We were in the Big 12 conference, which has been dominated by University of Oklahoma and Texas. Why did Oklahoma and Texas dominate the Big 12 conference? Money. Texas has traditionally been ranked number one in the country as to the athletic budget, which is well over $50 million. Oklahoma has traditionally been in the top five. Now you say, how does a small state like Oklahoma compete at that level? Oil money. Oklahoma's boosters are multimillionaire oil man, and
So,
they've always paid.
so Ronnie,
Hmm.
I don't really like interrupting, but
I
I,
want you to, yeah.
I think we need to really kind of take a look at this. Well, you've been mentioning NIL money, so I think it all started back with that O'Banner brother. O'Bannon,
Charles
Charles,
O'Bannon,
and
a UCLA basketball player
yeah, I think
who
he had
graduated and couldn't read. Yeah,
it was it was the other brother was Ed O'Bannon, I think.
Ed O'Bannon. Yeah, it was Ed.
He
It
couldn't
was two of
read
them.
or Charles couldn't.
I'm not sure which one of them, but it was an O'Bannon brother.
But I know that he specifically started, you know, the the charge of athletes getting paid in college. I think he was one of the ones that I think was bringing litigation against the the whole system. And that's it in a nutshell. You have these talented players, highly talented, going to these schools, and some of them, I guess, didn't get the money. But like you said, players did get money. I know I played with a player. He got paid. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't all that, but he got, like a car and all of this,
Mm-hmm.
and they helped him out. And he wasn't, I guess he was okay before he got injured, but he got injured. And then I thought he was just regular when he got injured. I didn't get a chance to see him when he was not injured.
Was he
But
the
he
best
got
player on your team?
well, no, not after that injury. Matter of fact, when I transferred in to the school, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to mention too many names. They were he was just he was injured. So, but
Mm-hmm.
he definitely got some money. But the system, period, just period, is about money. So when the players start getting that money, especially the poor African Americans or poor whoever,
Mm-hmm.
that was a benefit. And don't you think, even though it's not overly beneficial for the overall college scene as far as when it comes to sports, but those players, don't you think they deserve to get the money?
Absolutely.
Okay, I
They're
just wanted
not
to see
getting
what you was
enough.
thinking along.
They're not
Okay.
getting enough. But here's one of the key issues that's going on now. There's no
Hmm.
control over it. Number one.
No,
Number
no
two, you got
regulations then,
no
right?
regulation. It's like, prime example, the quarterback for the University of Oklahoma. They got him from one of your alma maters, Washington State, John Mateer. He was the top rated quarterback in the portal last year. OU bought him there for $3 to $3.5 million. And he started out gangbusters and then ended up at the season. By the end of the season, and by the time they were in the playoffs, he was their biggest liability. He still led them to the upset of Alabama. They walked through to the SEC with a good record. They got it. They got one of the invitations. But you knew from day one they weren't going to win because he wasn't playing well. Well, he makes $3.5 million, and he's got guys blocking for him making $200,000. That's that's an imbalance that doesn't exist in the NFL. The minimum guys are getting literally $1 million. If you're starting, you're getting $1 million in the NFL. In the NBA, if you're starting, you're getting five. That's simple. Unless you're on even the guys on rookie scale contracts. So the imbalance in the money is so great. They're giving all this money and all this attention to a quarterback, and the quarterbacks do deserve that money because a good quarterback can make you win or lose. Look at the Heisman Trophy winner. So yeah, I think the guys have benefited, particularly guys of color, because we are dominating major sports. We 75%, 80% of the NBA, and almost 2/3 in the NFL. So yeah, that benefits us as a whole. Benefits our people because that money flows down to our families and our communities to some degree. It's a benefit, but it's a benefit that needs to be controlled. You should not be able to buy a national championship, or it's just that simple. You should not be able to buy it. Even in NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, even though my Dodgers seem to be an exception to the rule, they just spend as much money as they want to spend. The Dodgers are definitely the best major league team that money can buy. But the key thing here is they're playing under the rules of the game. The Dodgers couldn't have all these $50 million contracts, $100 million contracts for players if the league and the rules didn't allow it. And nobody's really complaining about the Dodgers dynasty because they all playing under the same rules. You want to spend the money, you can get the championships. But spending the money doesn't guarantee you get the championships. It just guarantees that you'll be a player. Now, Indiana, getting back to Indiana with no 5-star players, that just seems an impossibility at that level. But so that tells you there's been some good coaching, some really, really good recruiting, because there's so many 5-star players who fell on their face when they got to the next level. The step up is huge, as you well know, Rashaki. From high school to college, it's a different breed, different game. The game changes again once you go to the league. It's a different game. When you playing and everybody can play, it's a whole different scenario. Whole different scenario. When you start playing and everybody's big, everybody's fast, different world, much different world. So that'll happen next Friday night, I think, or next Saturday night when they play the national championship game. But Miami could still win, but who knows? Have any of you guys ever heard of Indiana being good in football in your lifetime? Indiana's a basketball school. When you think of Indiana, I think of two things: the great Bobby Knight and the last undefeated team to win the national championship. And I also think of my great fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi. Our inaugural, our founding chapter was in Indiana University. That's where Kappa Alpha Psi got started. So, but you'd never think of Indiana in terms of football. They were 9-2 last year, and this year now they're 15-0 and have a shot at being the first 16-0 team since Yale in 1902. This is how historic this season is for them. They waltzed through the Big Ten, beat the crap out of teams. I mean, just didn't beat them good. So who knows? Now let's talk about the NFL a little bit. Playoffs are here. My team is playing tonight. This is the last of them. I don't think there's really been any upsets so far. New England and the LA Chargers. That was the only game that wasn't close. And I could have predicted that because the Chargers haven't done anything in the playoffs. Justin Herbert, whatever his name is, just doesn't rise up for the playoffs. Great player. Got all the tools, all the skill set. But the other games were compelling and exciting. One of them, the one most notable to me was Chicago and Green Bay, a game I turned away from because Chicago was down 21-6 at the start of the second quarter, but they've been a fourth quarter team all year, so I turned back after looking at something and caught the last of the fourth quarter, and it was just amazing. Caleb Williams led them to 25 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, and it's just two things to make that happen. Bears got to be playing good. The other team had to be playing not so well. So that was amazing, but he's had 6 or 7 fourth-quarter comebacks all year. I don't think the Bears' defense is strong enough for them to go any further, but that's neither here nor there. The number one favorite for the thing, I guess, is Los Angeles, Rams, Seattle. Vegas is changing the line every day. There's no one definitive team in the NFL that you can say is going to win. And that's parity. which all professional leagues kind of aspire to. There's not a single team in the playoffs that you can just say, oh, they got it going. They got it going. There's no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Joe Burrow. So, and now there's no Jalen Hurts. Last two Super Bowl MVPs, Patrick and Jalen Hurts. So we're going to get a new champion this year. The Rams won't be new because they got one several years back within the last 5 or 6 years. Seattle has gotten one. They should be one of the co-favorites during the Pete Carroll era. Buffalo had never won, even though they made 4 Super Bowls in a row back in the day, and probably have the best player left in the game at quarterback because that Josh Allen is ridiculous. They calling him Superman. There's a good reason for that. Because 6'5", 240, runs a 4.5 40, and got a cannon for an arm and just won't quit. Hell of a player. But Matthew Stafford of the Rams is probably a shoe-in for the MVP. And his main competition is a second-year player, Drake May for the New England Patriots. Hell of a player. So I'm not certain who's going to win that. What do you guys take on NFL? Who do you think will win it, Rick?
Well, that's a pretty tough one there. It seems like defense might win it. Whoever got the best defense might win it because these offenses are talented.
Yeah.
Like you say, I'm completely impressed with May.
Me too.
I had him as my fantasy quarterback because he was putting up major numbers, and I had Golf as my backup quarterback, and I used May most of the time.
Golf had a good year. Golf's a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's tough to choose May over Golf in any setting.
Yeah, but he's better.
Yeah.
We probably can safely say that right now. And this is the second year. Mm.
Right. And I didn't know who he was until this season, but yeah, he moves the team. He runs well. To me, he completely outperformed Herbert, or like you said, Hey Bear, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah, there was no contest.
There's no contest. It was no contest. And Herbert, he has a great arm, but I think he lacks a lot of footwork. May has some pretty decent footwork. Sometimes Herbert, sometimes he just looks, I don't want to say clumsy, but he just looks more plodding.
Mm-hmm.
Than like his feet are stuck in the mud a little bit,
Right.
But he's not your super agile quarterback. But I do like the Rams' chances.
I do too. How's the Stafford?
Yeah, and I'm just concerned about the defense. They
should be. You should be concerned about the defense. Mm.
Right. So, like I said, defense is probably what'll win it, because especially a big play defense. So, I don't know. It's kind of a toss up. It's kind of pretty tough to gauge it. I think San Francisco has a pretty decent defense,
but they done. They won't win another game.
Yeah, I think so.
They're done.
Quick question, Rick and Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the bracket. So whoever wins tonight gonna play on Sunday?
Not this Sunday. Yeah, they'll have to play Sunday. Yes.
But next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Okay. So ain't no games this weekend. No,
Yeah,
it's
Saturday.
coming up. Yeah, it's coming up, right?
They have games on Saturday and
Yeah,
Sunday.
man, I'm tripping off of this because I didn't even know it was playoffs on Monday Night Football, and this is the third
Well,
year I heard.
they did this, and the teams hate it. It's a TV mechanism. This is an off night, so they got the whole country. And the
Uh,
TV, the lords of TV who make this all these multi-million dollar salaries possible, say we want a Monday night game, and they got it. You
Okay, well,
can't nothing you can say about that.
okay, well, Rick, go ahead because I kind of interrupted, but I wanted to get that
Mhm.
in.
oh, no worries, no worries. Um, yeah, so I do think it's going to come down to defense. When you look at the Rams, you know, actually one of the best things that ever happened to Devontae Adams was to get out of Las Vegas and come to LA and play with Stafford and Puka Nakua. Uh, I mean, I'm sure they kind of miss uh, number 10 over in Seattle. Well, he was number 10 with the Rams. Cooper Cup. I'm sure they kind of
Cooper
miss
Cup,
him.
yeah,
Yeah, because he catches just about everything.
yeah, he
But
does.
Devontae's he's a proven. I guess you can't consider him a superstar anymore. I mean,
But
Puka
he's a Hall
Nakua
of
is a
Famer.
superstar.
He's a Hall of
He's a
Famer.
Hall of Famer. He is a
Yes,
Hall of
sir.
Famer. But he compliments Puka pretty good, I think. When he was missing in that last game, uh,
You can see
Puka
it.
did Puka did everything, but that last play they were able to key on Puka. I mean, you can't do that when Devontae's there.
No.
So it's a good offense there, and they got Kyron Williams in the backfield. That tight
Mm-hmm.
end isn't bad. I mean, he could catch over the head.
Yeah, Cody
He runs good.
Parkington. Yeah.
Yeah, he runs good patterns. So, of course, not too many teams go go to the tight end like they used to back in the day. There's only a few teams that use their tight ends substantially. But um, I'm not sure at this point in the playoffs. I'm not sure who to pick on this
Me
one. I
neither.
do like the Rams' chances.
Rigo, you got any take on
No, man, I haven't been watching to be honest. That's why I like coming on here because I
it?
can
Mm-hmm.
get some type of commentary because I
Get
know.
some,
And then Rick, I forgot you was in fantasy football, so you keeping up. So
Oh yeah.
I'm
yeah,
more of a listener, and I have a few little questions every now and again.
yeah. And you know what's funny about that? I'd probably be just like you if it wasn't for fantasy because I kind of faded out of it. I hate the new kickoff rule.
I don't
Uh,
like it either.
yeah, I don't think I don't like that they moved the extra point back. I mean, it gives you uh, a little more excitement on the extra point, but I still don't think a field goal should be worth more than the extra point. So if you're gonna move the,
Even long ones,
hmm,
even long field goals, say 40 plus yards.
yeah, those are fine, but when you move the when you move the extra point back to wherever they're kicking it from now, and but they still allow a field goal from the 3 yard
Yeah.
line.
The extra point where they're kicking now is like 22-yard line.
It's
It's a
22.
22-yard field goal, basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't like it. I mean, if you, I was thinking, but it's just me. I mean, it's my little pet peeve, I guess. If you're gonna allow, if you're gonna move the extra point back to the 22, then why allow field goals from inside? You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
That's a good take.
Yeah, because you're giving them an extra point for a shorter kick. You give them 2 extra points for a
Yeah,
shorter
but
kick on a field goal.
here's another side of that coin, though. You can't be a kicker in the league and not be 80% accurate. You fall below 80%, you cut. So field
Right.
goals nowadays are just, and these guys, 50 yarders are nothing no more.
Yeah.
50-yard field goal used to be an anomaly. You have
Right.
50-yard field goals by every team in the league in every dang game, literally.
Yeah.
So, once you get to the other team's 40-yard line, you're in field goal territory.
Mm.
That's the 60.
Yep.
You get to the 35, 55. So field goals are, but all of the kickers. If you're not kicking at 80% level, you're not kicking.
Right.
It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So that's something that probably the rules and the competition committee has been looking at and talking about for years.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the 3-point shot in the NBA. It's so prevalent that it's almost a distortion. But then again, nobody can really shoot it consistently over 40%,
Right.
basically. Until
Yeah.
somebody starts shooting it at 50%, it'll stay the same. Now, the corner
Right.
three-pointer, which is the easiest three-pointer to shoot, they may need to look at that bad boy because that's the easy one. But these guys nowadays, Jesus Christ, they just make them from anywhere,
Yeah. That
anywhere.
is true. Yeah.
And it's to me, I've said this for years. The biggest difference in basketball from when I was in college and coming up, and back when you guys were in school, is the handles on the big guys are just absolutely ridiculous. Kevin Durant dribbles the ball better than anybody you've ever seen or played with in your life. And he's 7 foot. He has a better handle than anybody you've ever known or played with. And he's 7 foot. That's insane. That's insane for the fact that 20% of the guys in the Hall of Fame in the 60s, I'd say 80% of them didn't even have a left hand.
Yeah.
Well,
These guys, the way they handle that rock,
it's evolution of the game, Ronnie.
and evolution of the players themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
evolution because when you get somebody doing it real well, then you're gonna get somebody else to do it better. So
yeah.
it keeps evolving, evolving, and we wonder what's gonna be in about 10 years. How's this game gonna look in 10 years because of how skilled the players are. So it's interesting.
My biggest prediction is that guys under 6'5" are going to be far and few between.
They might be out
A
of luck,
prime
huh?
example, a prime example of that is Trae Young, a perennial All-Star in his first few years in the league, a dominant player almost. He just got shipped off to Washington for literally, well, they got two good players back, C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. But this man, perennial All-Star, perennially leads the league in assists and turnovers, by the way. But at 6 foot, and I stood up right next to him, he ain't even 6 feet. Because he's
Who's
no
that?
he's no
You talking
taller
about,
than I am.
is
I'm
that
talking about
Trey
Trae
Young?
Young.
And Ronnie,
Yeah. And he weighs 165 pounds.
now check
He
this out.
can't defend in the NBA. Yeah.
So I think Atlanta might be better. Man, they walked into Golden State and put a whooping on their behind.
Oh, they're definitely better because they don't have anybody on the court. They're starting under 6'6".
They was
You
wearing the
know,
Golden State out, boy.
I mean, to tell you that they just don't have any little players. What the go Houston's smallest starter is 6'7", which is Amen Thompson.
Mm.
So I mean, little guys, how is Trae Young supposed to defend somebody like that?
Yeah,
The
he
last
just
little man in the NBA that was a good defender was Chris Paul,
yeah.
and he can't defend these big guys. Not And one of the reasons Chris Paul was effective as a defender, there was 6'2", 6'3" guards all over the league. And as Rashaki knows, defense is desire. And he had desire to make stops, plus a skill set. But Chris Paul, he's not effective anymore. Hadn't been in some years just because the guards are just too big. A guy that's 6 feet should not be able to guard a 6'5" guy with the same quickness and handles and speed. It's just not. And Chris Paul was never known for hops.
No.
Has he dunked in the game? Probably a couple times before. Trae Young ain't known for hops, even though they can dunk, no question about it. People used to get on Steph all the time. I don't know if you dunk in games. So why? It takes too much effort and energy, and I don't want to hurt my hand.
Right.
You get 2 points for a dunk. You get 2 points for a layup.
Yeah.
And you guys know that have dunked and can dunk. It's an effort. It's definitely an effort.
Yeah.
So with guys like Chris Paul being ineffective, Trae Young getting traded, and he's got $45 million a year he's making. That's the last time he'll get one of those contracts.
Now, to prove your point, Ronnie,
Yeah.
I was watching that game. Well, I watched highlights of that game. Golden State is just too small. They don't have enough size.
Well, that's one of the reasons that Dede has been so upset. He said, "I'm sick of guarding fives."
Who's that? Oh,
Very much.
well, it's fine time to say that when you get your behind whooped, but
Or just the physical toll. The physical toll of it. Like that was AD's biggest problem with the Lakers. AD says, "I'm a 4. I don't want to guard fives."
Well, man, it's AD 7 foot. Yeah,
AD he's 6'10".
man, that dude's 7 foot, man.
He ain't no 7 foot. No,
That dude,
no,
he's
he's 6'10".
man.
He
What
got
is his
weight on him.
wingspan then?
But
7'4" or something.
Jalen Williams for the Thunder, who's 6'5", has a 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah, but
That's unreal. To me, that's unreal.
Well, he can complain all he wants. That big old boy and the way he used to block shots and all that, he shouldn't complain about nothing. He should be wanting to play somebody big and stop him. That's what you say, that desire, man. You can't teach that.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
But Golden State. Steve Kerr said it the other day, 10 days ago. He said it's unreal for people to think that we can compete with the San Antonios and Oklahoma Cities. We are not at that level. We're not there. We don't have the personnel. That's as a direct and on point assessment as you can make about the state of today's game. Not many coaches will say that. But Steve Kerr gonna tell you what's on his mind. We can't compete with them. They're too long. They're too young. They're too athletic.
Yeah, you can't go in there with a 6'7" guy trying to stick fives like that. In the game nowadays,
No, it just won't work.
It just won't work. It's not gonna work, especially if you have a good five. And that five don't have to be that good if you're slower and older.
Exactly. 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 That's that. And it's and how many good fives are there in the league? It still ain't about probably 7 or 8.
Exactly.
That are really, really dominant.
One sec, though.
But you got to have them. You got to have something that looks like a five. And AD just doesn't want to play the five, even though that's the position he's most effective at. Simply because he's faster than all of them. He's quicker than them. And he's just a tremendous defensive player. Whew. He defends the post as well as anybody I've seen in the league. And then he gets barbecued by Jokic. There's always somebody to answer for you. And then this boy, Wembanyama, I don't know what his height is, but if they're talking about 7'5", it's got to be 7'5" or 7'6", because he's towering over 7-footers. And with guard skill set, whew, that boy there, every time I watch him, he does stuff that's just, it shouldn't be happening. It just defies the laws of what a man that size should be able to do. And so the evolution of basketball will be the development of more Wimpy-like guys. You know, there may be a time, you know, the average height in the NBA right now is 6'7.5". It just tells you, little man, how many effective guys do we got under 6'5"? Really, really balling. Really say, I say 6'4" and under. How many guys under 6'5" are really just great players? How many? I mean, you could name them on your hands and fingers, the really great players in the league under 6'5". You start with the Brunson and Steph and Tyrese Maxey.
Well, well, see, the thing about it is, it if the game evolves to the point where only tall players are able to play, that's going to be discrimination. You're going to have to do something about the little guys. They should be able to play in. You might have to have two leagues, a height limit. It's like, okay, you got the NBA for the giants and the NBA for the regular size people.
I hear you. But you know, but
Yeah,
we can all still name 15, 20 guys under 6'5" that are a handful. But you know, it used to be 50 or 60. It's now down to 15 to 20 guys under 6'5" who really can go. I mean, flat go. And the number's just going to start shrinking and shrinking as the bigger players have all of these skills that the little guys got. I don't know. One key player, as far as college basketball, I know Rashaki really loves some college basketball. It's as distorted as football is by Neil. Just as distorted.
Ronnie, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't I haven't watched 2 minutes of a college basketball game this year. I won't start watching it until
Yeah.
the
I remember
NCAA's because you know what I do.
I remember back in the day you and Todd always talking about college basketball, which I never like. I just don't care for. And I particularly don't care for it anymore because I don't know who the players are. None of us know. The guys are one and done. So you don't, there's no loyalty to guys are moving around. But I got to see Arizona, who is now number one in the country at 16-0. I got to see them up front and in person last year when Tito came out and we went down to Oklahoma State to see him play. And their best player was Caleb Love, who wasn't even drafted, wasn't invited to the combine. And I never could understand it. He was not a perfect player. He's really a two guard, and he's 6'3", 6'4". He's about your size, Rashaki. But the boy can just flat put the ball in the hole. He's an average to above average defender and has no conscience. He's a scorer, a pure scorer,
Where
and
is he
can
from
get
again?
buckets. He played at Arizona last year, but remember in
Oh
his
yeah.
sophomore year, led North Carolina, was one of the key players on the national championship team. Then he transferred to Arizona, and why would you leave North Carolina to go to Arizona? But never played 4 years of college basketball, never averaged under 15 points. Every year made all tournament. When they lost last year in the semifinals to Duke, he hit 35 points. How can he not get drafted? How can he not get invited to the combine? How can that happen? But then Carter Bryant, 6'6" forward, on the same team coming off the bench, is a lottery pick by the Spurs. At one point, I agree with Tito and Nico, his son, and this other guy, Julius Coleman. We all think that Carter Bryant has more upside than Caleb Love, but I'm not. I don't know if that's real now. You know, I don't know if that's real. Caleb Love, because of the spacing in the NBA, has more space to operate, and he can get the ball off. He's got unlimited range. He's the 8th leading scorer among rookies in the league, and on a 2-way contract, which they're going to have to tear up because he's getting 20+ minutes a game. So they're going to have to give him a regular standard contract, or they're going to lose him for the those 2-way players can't play for 50 games, and of course can't play in the playoffs at all. So, you know, one of the keys is what's going to happen to him when Dame comes back next year, because they essentially play the same position. He's going to be there. That boy's going to have a long NBA career because he can put the ball in the hole. Plays decent defense, has shown some playmaking ability where he's had to make the adjustment. And, you know, some guys are better. The pro game is better for him. Or Carter Bryant with the Spurs. The Spurs got all kind of wings. And they finally sent him down to the G League, and he blasted them for 20+ points the first night. He needs some seasoning because he's on the end of the San Antonio's bench, even though he's got great upside. And the upside is because of his defensive chops. And he has a decent 3-point shot. So what's the most desired player in the NBA nowadays? A 3-and-D wing. And he fits the mold. 6'6", you know, over 220 pounds, can move his feet, can defend, and can shoot the 3. So he's got a shot, you know. But I don't see him breaking through at San Antonio. He might need to go to another team to really realize his full potential. The NBA, last we talked about them, the Thunder were riding high, and they got blasted by San Antonio. They'd already lost once, but they lost twice more to them. A regular season game when they lost to them in they did a home and home series. San Antonio beat them both times and beat them good. Since then, they both had some questionable losses. San Antonio last night, just, you know, at one point San Antonio was ranked over them as being the best team in the NBA. They're definitely not that. They're close, but they're not that. They're not even ready to win a championship. Even Charles Barkley said, even though they beat Oklahoma City handily twice, and the last 3 times they played, it might be a little bit different in the 7-game series with Oklahoma City having the home court advantage. It might be a little different when they got to go through Denver and Minnesota and the Rockets to even get to us. So for years we couldn't beat Dallas, but we got far in the playoffs because other people would beat them. Every team in the league has their nemesis. Every team in the league has another team that gives them just holy hell. And it doesn't have to be a team of equal stature. But teams in the same conference that see each other 4 to 6 times a year, they know your tendencies. They don't even really have to scout you. They play just so many different times. And it's hard to get up for 82 games. It's hard to get up for teams every night with the travel schedule and all that it is. And a team that's not doing well, you're not going to come in with your 100% A-game effort because the league is not full of guys that are maniacal like Kobe Bryant. There's not too many monsters like him left. He was an absolute beast from the standpoint that every night he showed up. Now you got guys that show up every night. Lots of guys in the league show up every night. But with that killer, never say die intensity that Kobe had, it took his whole game to a new level because a lot of that guys, as big as he was, had the skill set he had, but that desire to win, that being able to do anything on a basketball court that's humanly possible, the defensive chops, the leadership, just set him apart from other people. I still think the Thunder have a shot to win it all, but I'm not as confident as I was earlier in the year. One of the key things that's affected them, they were 19-1 before J-Dub or Jalen Williams came back. Since he's been back, they're 7-6. Now he was second team All NBA last year. So
Ronnie,
yeah,
sometimes when you have a chemistry going,
exactly.
you kind of ride it out, you know, and
Exactly.
I guess they brought him right back in, and that
Yeah,
breaks the chemistry.
they brought him right back in, and he immediately the first game he was ready. He started and played major minutes.
Yeah.
But because of their depth, he's playing under 30 minutes a game. And when he's ineffective, Mark snatches him. But he sits Shea for long periods of time. Shea is the one superstar in the league getting the least amount of minutes. Number one, because Mark substitutes everybody. He's trying to keep everybody on the squad under 30 minutes because the NBA is it's like running a mile.
Yeah. So
It's
basically, he's preserving. He's preserving. Yeah.
when they played the Memphis Grizzlies 4 days ago, 5 days ago, he sent out six players: Shea, Chet, Hardenstein, Kason, Caruso. He just set them down, and they still beat Memphis. But they're going to do that. They're going to have 5, 6 games where the top 6 players are not going to play, and they're competitive enough still to win a game like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying before about um, how Shea boosted the confidence of those guys. Those guys go out there and they play, like they can't be stopped sometimes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, I think it seems like that. Like I was saying, those guys are pretty young, so it seems like that was a spinoff of Shea's confidence because those guys are pretty confident. They believe they could. I'm sure they'd rather have Shea in there, but they feel they could do it even if
They don't feel like
Shea
they need him. They
right,
don't. Yeah, they don't feel.
right,
They feel like beating anybody.
yeah,
But it's because they've done it.
yeah,
That's the way. Remember 6 games last year. He said his top 6 players. They won all 6. That's
mm.
never been done in the history of the NBA. Think about that, guys. What team, even the Warriors at their highlight, even the Bulls, you sit down Mike, Scotty, and the Grant brothers, you think Chicago want to beat somebody? You take Bird and the Celtics, you sit down Bird, McHale, and Parrish, you think that'd beat somebody? You take the Lakers, they sit down Kareem, Magic, Worthy, you think they can beat somebody? Hell to the no. We've never
Nope,
seen that happen in the history of the league. And it's an anomaly. Great Sam Preston, the best general manager in the league, by far. Mark Daniel, they brought him up from the G League. Guy never played basketball. Never was a player. And they brought him up from the G League, and he knows the game. And his main talent is keeping all those guys happy. Because they got that
right,
10th man can play.
yeah.
And then the fact that they got 2 guys over 30 who are still major contributors. I mean, that's unheard of what they put together. Can they win it
Who we
all?
got?
Oh, my boys just went up 3-0. Pittsburgh kicked the field goal. Pittsburgh
Uh,
can beat Houston because Houston's young. Houston has the best defense probably in the league besides Seattle, but they're young.
right.
Young teams don't do well. maybe New England will make us allow. But I don't know. What do you guys think about San Antonio as far as winning the championship? They're not ready.
I don't think they're ready either.
No, they're not
I
ready.
mean, they make they make a lot of noise, but yeah, it seems like they're not ready yet.
They're not ready. Well, one of the keys here in this, since they beat us 3 times in a row, they're at 500, and we are a game above 500. One of the keys is those 3 guards, Fox, Harper, and Stephon Castle, have been struggling
Yeah,
from three. They've had to put Champagne into the starting lineup because they've been struggling from three. Well, Oklahoma City, one of the reasons they're struggling, they're shooting like 31, 32% from three. That won't get it.
mm,
That won't get it.
yeah,
You can't shoot that as a
no,
team and be
no,
effective. So what that does is
yeah,
clog up the driver. Shea keeps with Shea, the way he attacks the rim, you should get wide open looks on threes all day. And they do, and they just haven't been making them. But
yeah,
over the course of the season, that'll shift. Because these are makeable threes, wide open threes. You're not gonna miss
yeah,
those forever. But
yeah. I think
that goes
Shea,
up and down. It's
yeah,
still a
Shea,
make or miss league.
yeah, Shea rather shoot that mid range anyway.
Oh yeah, he's gonna shoot that because he can get to
Yeah,
wherever he wants to get on the floor. I really love how Michael Jordan came out to talk about him. Um, Gilbert Arenas talked about him. Uh, and Michael was saying he don't understand all the hate. You know, same thing Arena said. Why is he getting all the hate as being a free throw merchant? Who is the leading free throw shooter in the NBA? You guys know? It ain't Shea.
I mean, as far as percentage or
Who is
times to
getting
the
the most
line,
free throws per game?
hmm, that's a good question. Maybe
Luca.
hurt, huh?
Luca.
Oh,
Luca
yeah,
is over. Yeah, Luca's the only player in the NBA getting double digit free throws. He's getting 12.2 a night. Only player in the
I can
league
see
doing
that.
it.
I
And
can
he's
see
not even
that.
a good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
He's not even
And
a
you know
good
what?
shooter, period.
Yeah. And you know, one thing I noticed is that some of the best scorers in the league that's, in the NBA ever, they got to the free throw
They got
quite
to
a
the
bit.
line. Yeah, they get to the
Yeah.
line. The great players get to the
Hmm.
line, number one, because they got the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
And number two,
And-
they scoring, so you're going to foul them. Only way to
yeah.
slow them down is to foul them.
Yeah.
Because if you just let them
And-
shoot, you toast.
yeah. And
You,
Chuck back in the back, I was remember back when Chuck Person was supposed to be one of the better scorers in the league,
the
and
rifleman.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was comparing him to some of the other players. I'm trying to think who I could compare him to back then. Maybe I guess I mean we could say somebody like Dantley. Dantley, Chuck Person, he was scoring all his points from the outside. He never went to the free throw line. Maybe a couple of times during his career he went to the free throw line like 200 times for the season,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of times he was under 200. So most of his scoring was from the outside. His total career he was averaging like in the high teens. But
Mm-hmm.
Dantley spent a lot of time at the free throw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he
Most of
was
the great scorers do.
most of the great scorers do. Yep.
Yeah.
Even World B. Free. He spent a lot of
Here's the
time at the
statistic I just found. The free throw attempts per game this season, Luca 11.8, Denny Alvaja, that guy from Portland, 9.6, and Shea 9. Harden 8.7, Austin Reeves 8.6, D Book 8.2, and Paulo Banchero and Jimmy Butler right at 8. So
Where's Austin Reeves?
Austin Reeves is fifth with
Wow.
8.6 and Luca is 11.8.
I wouldn't have expected that.
He gets to the line because he's crafty.
He is crafty.
He is very, very crafty. Not fast. That's just Luka. Luka's crafty. Luka can get to any spot he wants to on the floor, and he makes ridiculous shots. You know, his career field goal percentage is low. His career 3-point percentage low, and career free throw percentage low for a player that size with that skill set, because he takes bad shots. He takes bad shots, but he makes bad shots. He makes ridiculous shots nightly.
Yeah.
That step back three is just completely vicious. And when that thing is dropping, and there ain't no more you can do with it. He's gonna shoot it enough for it to fall.
Yeah.
But
and that's a complete. I was gonna say that's a complete rhythm shot too. I don't know what you think, Rio.
Well,
I think that's
I don't really. I'm not a big Luca fan.
because he won't play
Plus, I
deep.
don't watch it that much. But it seemed like he could be a difficult player to play with, because you have to be have to watch him majority of the time.
Right.
It's at the game when I see these great one-on-one players, it kind of takes away from that team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I loved Michael Jordan because at some point he knew he needed his teammates, and that even increased the chances of winning all those championships. And he'll be in games and he'll pass. He's passed it to Kerr and who's that, Paxson, and at the end of the games, it's just I just like the beauty of team ball. The last championship series that I really enjoyed was that Dallas team with Chandler. I think was Coach on that team too.
Jason
You
Terry,
had the Jet, the other Jet, not Kenny the Jet, but you had the other
Jason
Jet.
Terry.
Yeah.
Jason Terry.
You talking about team ball? They were played ultimate team ball, and the buckets was coming from everywhere, and they had Dirk, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
they had Dirk. Dirk was the boy. Was
But
the
I'm
man.
just saying that was he on that squad?
Yes.
Man, that was a thing of beauty. That's the
Yeah,
last time I really enjoyed a championship because of the way they was moving that ball. It just was a whole chemistry that was just damn near perfect. But it only lasted for that year. It's just 1 year.
Yeah, it did.
But I just like the team ball, man. I like the beauty of the whole team contributing. But of course, you're gonna have your go-to at the end of the game guy, and you do put it in his hand.
And you didn't like the Warriors because they were definitely playing team ball.
The Warriors,
they were passing that ball all over the place.
I mean, they was all right. I'm particular like that. I mean, I like the Warriors now because Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Because that dude seemed it seemed like he just wheels his way, but he ain't enough. That's for
He's
sure.
not nearly enough.
And he's older, so yeah, he's little. He can't really guard the bigger people. He's like what? Jimmy Butler 6'7"?
6'7", yeah.
Yeah, he can't really guard the big guys,
He shouldn't. He shouldn't have to.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty amazing, man. I just like team ball.
Yeah.
I guess because that's what I was, a team player.
Yeah.
I know in high school I could have averaged probably 30 points if I was a hot dog, but I wanted the team to get involved.
Oh, you want to win?
Yeah. I could have went one-on-one majority of the time, but I think the game is most beautiful when it's like a unit.
Mm-hmm.
And you right about the Warriors. They had some heck of a
They pass that ball around the perimeter. It's just
I mean, they even play good team ball now, but just not big enough. They little.
Plus they play defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still haven't felt uh, a better uh, a better championship. I'm still stuck in Showtime, man. I mean, I don't I just can't help it. That was the most entertaining basketball I've ever seen.
Dude, you're not the
I'm
only
stuck
one that
there.
thinks that. Me too. Me
I'm
too.
stuck. I'm
I'm
stuck.
stuck there too, bro, my brother. I'm stuck. We all stuck there. You know what? We lived in LA. You guys been out your life. I lived there 20 years, but I was a LA fan all my life. And I can't stand them right now because of LeBron James. I can't stand them. I
I hear
cannot
you.
stand them.
I
They
hear
have
you.
no chance to win. And this clown, and he's a great. He's in the GOAT conversation. He's not the GOAT because he's not better than Michael Kobe. To me, his error has been Steph Curry's error, not his. Ever since
Yeah.
LeBron James been in the league and been effective, Steph Curry has been in his way. If he had conquered Steph Curry 3 out of 4 like Steph Curry did him, then he might could talk about some GOAT shit. But Steph Curry was
Yeah.
all in his cookies, all up in his Kool-Aid, and the one time that they won, Steph was out there playing on one damn leg. Now,
Yeah.
granted, Kyrie was the year before. But when Steph averages 21 points a game, he's hurt.
Yeah.
And he had sat
Yeah.
out
That's
most of
true.
the years before. Then they suspend Day for game 5, and then Bogut gets hurt in game 6. And then it wasn't even him. It was Kyrie that hit the big shot to win the damn game.
Hey,
Yeah.
you
But
know
he takes
what?
all the credit. Says, I must be the GOAT. I was done with him after that. And I
Well, yeah,
like
I
everything.
mean, you can't really toot your own horn. The only athlete that was ever good at tooting their own horn, and it was more strategy than anything, was Muhammad
Muhammad Ali.
Ali. That's
Muhammad
it.
Ali.
Everybody
And
else
he's the
need to
only
be
GOAT.
humble.
He's the real GOAT. And he
Yeah,
got his ass whooped in the end because he stayed too long.
yeah. So
Hey, well,
yeah,
He was the GOAT.
I got to tell you, there was one person that was probably Muhammad Ali, like in tooting his own horn, if you ever was around him when he was tooting it. But Freeman Williams, I mean, he thought he was everything. He used to tell us when we were playing in this league in Norwalk, and I mean, granted, the dude is unstoppable. He was unstoppable even at in his later years because he's definitely older than I am, and we were
Mm-hmm.
playing against him. Nobody could stop him. I mean, he was getting and one after and one and after and one. And actually, some of the guys on our team said, "Man, you was killing us." And he was like, "Man, I'm a world class athlete." Okay, okay,
But he was.
my bad. But he
Yeah.
was, you know. Um, and yeah, and he was overweight at the time. You know,
Didn't
I
matter.
saw him I saw him at one of the Joe Weekly All Star games at Crenshaw High School, and he was just dominating. He scored just about every time down court. As a matter of fact, his little reverse layup coming down on the break with the reverse layup to draw the defender to the other side. He come with the reverse layup. That's where I got that from. I used that because of Freeman Williams. But yeah, Freeman Williams, it wasn't really like Muhammad Ali, though. Muhammad Ali was talking trash just to entertain. This boy, Freeman, was talking trash because he was freaking arrogant as heck. He just had mad arrogance. But he could back it up, though. I mean, when he was at Portland State, he was scoring 40-point games, 50-point games, So
So you guys think LeBron should make the All Star team?
probably not this year. Uh,
I can't even say I haven't seen him play. So
because
He's averaging 20 something, something, and something.
oh, is he? He averaging 20 and 7 or something? Okay. Well, Doncic has taken a lot of his limelight.
Oh,
You know,
no question
yeah,
about it.
this is
They asked Day that question on his podcast, and he said, "There's nowhere in the world that they should have an All-Star game without LeBron James." And I'm not a LeBron lover, but I pretty much have to agree with that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
pretty much have to agree with that. But I mean, he's not going to start. That's obvious. That's obvious. But he
Right.
should be there. Now, my only caveat to that is that they did it for Dirk, they did it for D Wade, they did it for Kobe. They were selected to the All-Star team because I can remember Kobe cost his last year. He cost Dame from being an All-Star, and they asked Kobe about that, and he said, "Should Dame be an All-Star over you?" He said, "No, not over me, but he should be an All-Star. He definitely deserves to be in this game." LeBron deserves to be in an All-Star game. Just he's 13th in the voting or something like that. You can't really pay attention to the fan voting because, well, you got to pay some attention because the fans buying them overpriced tickets like I am. But then the coaches and the general managers are the other half of the vote, and they'll round it out. But he should be brought into the game, I think, for sure.
He's
Yeah.
he's an ambassador, so
No question
There
about it.
you go.
yeah.
No question about it.
Yeah.
And the stuff that he has done, his off the court action has just been so beautiful. I mean, off the court, he's been just everything you would want. You know, a star like
Yeah.
that, no scandals, no madness going on. He's
Right.
giving back. I mean, I will forever ever hold it against him for having Bronny on the team, and Bronny wouldn't even be an All-Star in the damn G League. That's wrong
Yeah.
to me. That's so wrong. I don't understand the powers that be. I don't understand Jeannie Buss. I don't understand JJ Redick saying that he's going to develop. And then Brian said just 3 days ago that he's going to be one of the all-time record greats before his career is over.
Who,
That's
Bronny?
just yeah. He said that about Brian, and I said he must be smoking that water or some shit, man.
Wait, what did he say? What did
He
he
actually
say?
said that. He said that Bronny was going to be an all-time great before he hangs up his career, before his career ends.
Well, I
Bronny
mean,
gonna get cut soon as LeBron retire. Am I wrong, guys?
well, he might be all time great in something, but
It ain't gonna be in the NBA.
I don't think so. And if that happens,
I don't know basketball.
well, we from
If that
another
happens,
planet, you
yeah,
know.
I don't know the game.
It's
And I
wild.
ain't telling you I'm no expert on basketball, but I'm an expert. I think I'm a fairly adequate judge of who can play and who can't. And that boy can't play. And he's too little. He was
Right.
6'1", 3/4 in stockings. That's too
Yeah.
tiny to not have a killer jump shot and a killer handle,
Right.
which neither one he
Right.
has.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about he's going to be a great defensive stopper. What great defensive stoppers in the NBA at 6'2"? Get out of get the heck out of here. That's
and
insanity, man. It just doesn't make sense.
and he didn't even average that much at USC.
Never averaged 5 points in his whole life.
Yeah. I mean, that was a wasted pick or a pickup for the Lakers, actually.
And then they said his little brother was going to be better. He ain't no good. He's in Arizona now. What good college player redshirts? Who redshirts? He's redshirt.
Who?
Bryce James.
He redshirting?
He's redshirting. He ain't getting no run with Arizona.
Oh man. Well, you see what happened with Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they can't play, they can't play. It's just that simple.
It ain't that they can't play. It just there's so many levels to this game.
Right. Well, at
It's
that
just
level,
yeah. It's just
But
man.
Bryant was never the best player on his high school team. I don't know how he made McDonald's All-American. Yes, I do. His name is Bronny James. He shouldn't even been in that damn game.
Well, yeah. I guess LeBron has all of that clout.
Yeah, you got that clout, dog.
You
Got that
know,
clout.
Jordan didn't have that clout, but Jordan wasn't raising his sons totally by himself. I mean, you know how he wasn't with his wife the
He
whole
wasn't
time.
raising them at all. Shit.
But Brian been around his kids, I guess, a little bit more.
Oh, most definitely has been. He's
Sound like
definitely more of a
sound,
father. But you know, the thing with Jordan, like Kobe, they was so obsessed. I mean, when Jordan wasn't playing hoops, he was gambling. He was in
yeah,
the casino or on the golf course gambling, which that was his thing. Plus,
yeah.
like them girls too.
He was a wild boy. Huh?
He's a wild boy.
He was a
Think what
wild
we'd
boy.
be like if we were in the league, Rashaki.
Hey, I'm not a wild boy.
Yeah, but when you were their age, you were.
No.
You couldn't have gave me that kind of money in my 20s and think that I was going to act right. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen. And there's no way I could have been married. No kind of way in the world. No kind of way.
that big money changed your attitude.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we better keep it sports, fella. We about to go left.
Yeah, that money does different.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm really done. I don't have much more to add sports wise. I think Indiana's gonna win the national championship. I think they're gonna really tax Miami. I don't have any idea who's gonna win the NFL championship. If I had to just definitively say a team, I think I might go with the dark horse of Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm,
They might have the best combination of offense and defense in the game.
that would be something to talk about, Ronnie. We
That would be
we
something
gonna
to talk
see.
about.
We
But
gonna see.
they beat the Rams pretty good. They beat everybody else pretty good. They got the bye. It's two teams that got the bye, them and Denver. I don't give Denver any shot at winning, and they just keep winning. I don't know, and I just and Vegas doesn't give them that shot either, but they just keep winning.
Man, that was
Yeah.
Florida for me
Hmm?
in the NCAA tournament last year. I didn't see how the heck they won. I had them counted out almost every time.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
And they came, that
Yeah.
one guard, is that guard doing good in the NBA? The one that just,
Clayton, he's with Utah, and Will Richard is with Golden State, and they both had their moments.
oh, Will Richard is good.
Oh yeah, he is. But
Oh
Clayton
my
is too.
God, he
Yeah,
balls. What about,
he
so what is the other one doing? Because he was clutch. That other one was clutch.
he's coming off the bench because he's 6'1", 6'2".
Is he balling though when he come in the game?
Yes, he's got that shot.
Okay.
He
Mm.
can shoot it. He
I
can
got to
shoot it.
watch him. He's with Utah, you said?
Yeah, he's with Utah, and Will Richards with Golden State.
Yeah, Will Richard, I didn't even really, I didn't, for some reason, it was just that one that I focused on, the other guy.
Clayton, because he was killing it.
Oh man, he was at the end. It was like him against everybody, and he was making almost every shot at the end.
Yeah, he was.
And
Yeah,
I
he
was
was.
like, "What are y'all doing?" Them other teams seemed like they just froze and watched that dude. Man, I was losing all kind of games on that. Yeah, man. Well,
Yeah, there's
All
okay.
a
right.
this
We sh-
this
we
this
sh-
point guard I was watching the other day. I can't remember which college team he was from, but they were wearing all red. But
Oh, Red.
his name, yeah, his name is Booby. His first name is Booby.
Booby. What kind of name is that for?
Well, I know. I think Daniel didn't get Daniel Gibson had the same
Yeah,
name. Yeah, but this is a little point guard, 6 feet tall, and this dude, I can't even remember who they played either. But I was watching not
Excuse
this
me.
past weekend, but the weekend before is when I watched the game. But they were wearing red unis, and I was trying to keep him in mind so next time we got on I could talk about it. But yeah, this dude's practically single handedly won that game. You know, he was just unstoppable, man. He was doing it all, dropping dimes, hitting jump shots, getting to the basket, getting and ones. And this dude is only like 6 feet tall. You know, you look at him, you say, "Hey, you sure he's 6 feet tall?"
So can you
But
find out who he is and let us know so we can watch
yeah, I
him?
could. Yeah, I could. I have to dig into my phone to do that. So
Okay.
I, I I'll keep y'all. I'll keep
Yeah, I
y'all
look
on
forward
deck
to
on that.
watching him because, when the NCAA's coming around, I need to I need to do a better job this year.
Hey, I don't know if I mentioned it last time. I know I was talking to Steve on his little social media channel because he got one for the fantasy football and he got one for basketball. So I was talking to him about it, and you know he's in love with the Houston Rockets. I guess because he was born in Houston, but
Mm.
I love the NBA. But it's just something about the NCAA, especially during March Madness when it's
When it
do
gets
or
down to the
die.
Sweet 16, when it gets
Oh
down to the
man,
Sweet 16, that's when it
I
gets
mean,
good. That's when I'll start watching it.
yeah, I mean
Up
you
until the
either
Sweet
gonna have some,
16, I ain't looking at
yeah,
it. But the Sweet 16 and the on the end, that stuff is
yeah,
good. It's compelling because
yeah,
unlike the NBA, it's one and done.
right, exactly. And
You
it's
got
some
to bring
broken
it
hearts.
every night.
Yep,
You don't bring it
and
every
it's
night,
some,
you're going to the house. So
yep,
that kind of drama makes it just
yeah.
compelling.
It makes it competitive. It's something different. It's something different than the NBA playoffs. I mean, of
Plus,
course,
once
the
you get
NBA
down to the
playoffs are
Sweet
entertaining.
16,
Mm.
again, Rick, my knock on college basketball, and I've told my partner Tito this forever, and I said the same thing to Rashaki. Every team has two guys on the floor that can't play.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
and that
always
that
been
make
my knock against college basketball.
yeah,
Every team has two guys on the floor who really can't play.
right,
Now, are they good high school players? Yes. Were they great high
right,
school players? Yes. Were they average college players? Is what they are, just average.
right,
And they
right.
say, what is the
And
formula to win an NCAA championship? To have a guy 6'9" or 6'10" in the middle and
mm,
two good guards.
yeah,
That's the formula because the NCAA basketball is a guard game.
yeah.
Because
Hmm.
all your
I
big men
agree.
leave early.
Yeah, I agree with that
All
because
your big
that
men are
time,
lottery picks.
I remember that time Connecticut beat Kentucky with those little tiny guards. You remember
Yeah.
that championship? And and
Who was that
and
little guard you
Kentucky,
used to be so crazy about, Rashaki? He was a little bitty dude. Couldn't shoot, but he was a hell of a college player. But,
What you mean he
he was,
couldn't shoot? He could shoot. You talking
oh
about
my
Napier?
God.
Napier.
Oh, yeah,
oh
Napier.
Napier.
Napier,
Shaban,
Man,
yeah,
yeah,
Napier he was a heck of he was one of my favorite players in college.
heck of a college
yeah.
player. Just like kind of, he would kind of remind me of Pearl Washington from Syracuse.
Well,
They could
when he
dominate
wanted
at
to
the
catch
college.
from
They were just too
when
little.
you yeah when he wanted those cats from UConn,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
and
It
they
was
beat them
him, and
little
then
Shaban
ones.
Napier. Yeah.
he he wanted his freshman year with the other cat, little cat that
Uh,
dominated college basketball, and then he wanted his
yeah,
senior year. He won it.
Yeah.
you talking about Kimbo Walker?
Kimbo Walker. Yep.
Yeah,
Another little
yeah.
cat, but Kimber could go.
Oh
Oh, he
yeah,
was
Ooh,
rough,
Kimber was
man.
on a whole
yeah,
different level than him.
yeah. And
Man,
you
but
know that stuff.
Napier proved to be just as good as his senior year.
That is
Yeah,
Kimber Walker.
yeah.
Kim,
And you know that Kentucky team, they didn't have anybody in the starting lineup that was shorter than 6'5".
They
And
tore him up.
Napier just they put it on them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, it's the NCAA is a guard. It's a guard league.
It's
You
a
know.
guard game. Because all the bigs
Yeah.
in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guards tend to stay a little bit longer because when you 6'2", dude, you got to be eating it up to eat it up at the NBA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be a beast. A
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
But it's gonna
fellas,
be.
I don't have any more. Y'all got anything to say?
Man, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I'm good too. Excuse me, fellas.
We are. It'd be interesting to come back in a few weeks to see what's going on with
Yeah,
Rick, you got a homework assignment, so we want to know about this player.
Yeah, we can
yeah,
do it again
yeah.
next
I'm gonna
Monday.
get
We'll
that
talk
cat's
about it.
name. Yeah, because I want you guys to tell me what y'all think about him. Because
Oh, I'm gonna definitely check him out.
yeah, he's pretty dynamic little guard. He'll probably get to the big league. I'm sure his sights are set for that. But we'll see what he can do at 6 feet in the league. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay, fellas.
All right. Next time. Thanks a lot, everybody.
All
Okay, we'd
right,
like to do it
gentlemen.
again next Monday if possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I'll be at home then. I won't be on the freeway coming.
Okay.
Trying.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right,
fellas.
gents.
All right. Until next time.
Peace.
All right. Peace.